history of dragons is filled with contradictions, but truly how much do we know about them? And did they even exist at all?
Light waves, sound waves, all kinds of waves move in a sine wave. And that is the serpent, that is the dragon.
The dragon adventures continue as we find out about these mythical creatures of legendary tales. Are they fantasy or have they really existed in the past? To present a complete research and investigation for you, my team and I have looked at stories and encounters with the dangerous side of dragons, what some may call the dark side of the dragons. In this episode, we start off by speaking to a white witch and an exorcist about their experiences with the dragons. Then I will take you back to the world of Tokmuda and his tale of Naga Seri Kamuja. And finally, through the knowledge of world-renowned Feng Shui expert Lillian Too, we will find out how the entire dragon mythology falls into place in our daily lives. Spiderward is a good friend of mine, who is a psychic profiler, healer and white witch from Australia. Some of you might remember her from season 1. This time, we have met up to talk about the bad dragons that bring harm to others.
A good person who works with a dragon totem, for example, their strength comes from good, and they use their power, everything that they can do, for the good of humanity. However, a bad person will harness the same power and use it against humanity. So, no, there's not a bad dragon, but there are bad masters.
We also went to Singapore to meet with an exorcist, Sheikh Zahurin, and asked for his opinion regarding the dragons in his practice.
Through my experience dealing with these demons and devils, I talk to them. My ways of performing exorcism is more about talking to them.
Aku akan cakap dahulu. Siapa nama Kristen kamu?
Saya tak berbuat.
Siapa nama Kristen kamu?
Because I don't want to provoke them. Because it will become hard on me and hard on my patient. And it will take a longer time. Okay, for example, I ask a question. Can you fly? Then the demon say, no, I don't fly. When I come over, I'm on a flying horse or a unicorn or a dragon. So I ask them, so are they some kind of jinns or demons? They say yes. So what is their purpose? So they say for transportation, similar to human. They are from the sky. Normally they will take Pegasus, dragons, griffins, phoenix, and also if they come from the sea, they will sea dragons. They pose no harm because they follow their master. Okay, their master is the demon himself.
So it seems that dragons are relatively harmless by nature, but when they become vicious, it is because they are controlled by demons, according to Sheikh Zahurin, or evil human masters, based on Spider's explanation.
Is somebody going to be manipulated mentally by a spiritual dragon? Highly unlikely. Is the house going to be attacked by a spiritual dragon? More likely. They don't inhabit a person, they'll inhabit a place. If you invited the dragon, then the dragon is there for your benefit and your protection. If somebody sent the dragon, then they are more likely to have sent the dragon for dark reasons. In which case, you would consider what it is that frightens you about the dragon. And whatever you stay positive that the dragon can't hurt you or cause you misfortune.
And my demons, legions of demons.
Aku tengah podcast sama berjuta.
Kamu nak baju tak? Kamu dengar cakap aku.
Some of my patients, they get possessed when they go to the sea. So maybe through something, when they do something, maybe they throw stones into the sea, or they do something that might not to be liking of these animals. They start to take action. Okay, but it's not that severe, because normally when I come down to negotiate with them, they will tell me what happened, and then the most they will tell me that they want me to tell my patient, to give a warning that next time don't do like that. Some of them, when they possess, it's not because they want to possess, because these demons or devil, they are created from fire. So they never forgive. They have this problem of low self-esteem. That's why they are attached to us.
Hate. Oh, can't stand your name. Your name makes me sick.
What is my name?
Zahurin.
Sheikh Zahurin believes that dragons are demons and will possess a person if disturbed, especially those dragons located in the sea. This is because demons are by nature evil. Spider, on the other hand, perceives dragons as an agent that is sent by dark witches and sorcerers to create havoc in our homes.
Many witch doctors frighten people who have no working knowledge of the spiritual world with threats of fire-breathing dragons. It's an unfortunate tool that they use to control people and get what they want. Not all witch doctors, shamans and people in my industry are working for the good of humanity. It's not my job to kill dragons. I send them back from where they came to the home of their father, always. You can turn a dragon round, because a bad dragon, if there is such a thing, is still an animal, and any animal that's mistreated will turn into something awful.
It appears that in both the Eastern and Western cultures, there is a human sorcerer that could communicate with or control the dragons. And with good intentions, the human can harness positive energies from this magnificent creature. So far, in my investigation, dragons or nagas have a very close relationship with nature and Mother Earth. When we return, we will witness Tokmuda's storytelling of the origins of a dragon named Naga Sri Kamuja. In the previous episode, we witnessed Tokmuda, the 82-year-old native shaman and story keeper from Kampong Pian, Pahang, performing a ritual to seek permission from the land spirits, jinns, and the dragon spirit to tell the origins of a dragon named Naga Sri Kamuja. After all the preparatory work and rituals were completed, Tokmuda and his students are ready and started to tell the secret tale of Naga Sri Kamuja. The seriousness, respect, and the amount of concern and care that are invested in the telling of a simple story seems to be keeping the legend of the dragons alive.
Cerita ini seingat saya, kalau tak ada orang pelajar hilang. Pasal dia ini jangan dicakap satu, dua, tiga, tak boleh. Nak pretty betul.
At the moment, Tokmuda is asking for permission from the spirits of the dragon to tell the story again. He had to ask 3 times for permission to tell the story, and he has been right now granted permission. There is a way in which they are counting these grey night things where the dragon gives the signs. first round, it looks as though there is no permission, so I think we're just going to keep quiet and I'll explain more later.
Meet Dr. Colin Nicholas, the coordinator of the Centre of Orang Asli Concerns, who will share with us his understanding of the role of dragons in the belief systems of the natives.
Dr. Colin, have you heard this story before with regards to the Naga Sri Kemeja?
The Naga Sri Kamboja and Naga Sri Gumum have relations together with the people in Tasicini, for example.
When they tell their stories, what is your experience of the way they tell stories?
The stories for Orang Asli is not like children's story. It's actually part of their whole cosmology, the way of saying things. It's also a way of telling people how to behave, how to relate with other people and so on. So it's part of their belief system.
Now that they are shaking hands, it's like an invitation to listen to the story.
Assalamualaikum, Waalaikumsalam. Assalamualaikum, Waalaikumsalam. Oh, Datuk Nabi Umar. Daripada usul-usul asal-asal tongkat Datuk Nabi Adam sudah menepa dipegang ubat.
Tok Muda explained that the sacred dragon story that he is entrusted with originated from a great prophet. When the prophet threw his walking stick that looked like this cane into the sea near Peninsular Malaysia, it transformed into a dragon known as Naga Sri Kemuja, as a result of his miraculous powers. Suddenly, Tok Muda was very concerned. There was tension in the air. What was happening that made him so worried?
Saya minta maaf. Segala jin-jin 7 buah bumi 7 petala. Saya minta maaf. Ulu-ulu balang. Pas lawan balik kabut 7 lapis atas awal dara. Tak ada 2 kali. Habis tamat cerita.
Finally, Tok Muda had to stop telling the story of Naga Sri Kemuja. Although earlier we had permission from Naga Sri Kemuja to tell the story, it seems the jinns and other spirits were not pleased. Tok Muda was reluctant to inform us why, but to prevent any calamities from befalling on Tok Muda and the villagers, he decided to stop the session. I can tell that he was disappointed. It was obvious that he held true to his beliefs and lineage.
Most of the myths and belief systems of the Orang Asli are very much related to the environment. So most Orang Asli communities logically will stay near rivers, big rivers. And the rivers have a tendency to look like a snake and so on. And the belief is that a river is actually a living spirit, and the spirit of the naga, of the dragon or the large snake. So when you treat the river as a spirit, as something to be
nurtured and respected, yes.
So you would not do anything to destroy it or harm it or cause the river to be polluted, for example. Because the belief system is that when you do that, when you do too much logging for example upstream, the naga will be irritated, disturbed, or angry, and he will swish his tail, cause flash floods and this kind of calamities which people identify with the river. Only when you believe in this that you will respect it and follow the rules. And it's not uncommon to have this in all other religions.
Based on the story that we are told by Tok Muda, they actually do believe that the dragon existed, but maybe not in Tok Muda's lifetime, but from his ancestors, which he told me that there's actually like a lineage.
Yes.
So, would you therefore conclude that the dragon is actually one of the key common beliefs throughout the different indigenous groups?
Yes, not just in Malaysia,
worldwide.
But worldwide as well. Yes, it's a very common feature.
I started out not believing in the physical existence of dragons, but persisted with my investigations because we are overwhelmed by images and representations of dragons. What are the real reasons behind this phenomena? Many cultures build their belief systems around spirit beings like dragons or nagas, and view the dragons to be ferocious, powerful, and cannot be messed with.
A dragon, as you know, is very dear to me. I feel very close to the dragon, and I have researched the dragon for the last 35 years. If you ask me whether dragons existed, my belief is that it has existed in the past. If you talk to anybody living, nobody would have seen the dragon because it got extinct ages ago. And if you can see that our tigers and elephants are in danger of getting extinct even right now, then you can always entertain the possibility that the dragon simply became extinct. But I think more important about the dragon, whether it exists or not, is, in my humble opinion, really quite irrelevant. What is more important is what the dragon symbolizes. And for me, probably because I'm Chinese, I like to think of the dragon with great fondness. And the dragon to me represents everything imperial, everything celestial. It represents the emperor. Many of our Buddhas sit on the dragon. Our Kuan Yin, beloved goddess of mercy, sits on the dragon. So there must be something quite special about the dragon.
To Lillian and the Chinese community, dragons are such authoritative creatures. But in my interview with Sheikh Zahurin, dragons were said to be the vehicles of demons. Were they referring to the same dragon?
That the myths live on, the legends.
There must be some facts.
There must be something. And of course, in the past, they are not as savvy as we. Today, we have books. We are all very widely educated. We have the internet. Knowledge in the old days was very poorly disseminated. So everything came down to us through legends,
Grandfathers and grandmothers,
prayers, to beliefs. And the emperor associated himself with the dragon. Feng Shui is very much about the dragon. White tiger, blue dragon. Okay? And the dragon actually comes in various colors because there are various elements. And then, of course, you have the dragon in the astrological. Everything is symbolic. All religious, all esoteric sciences in the end go back to the symbolism of what it means. Even the language itself is very symbolic.
How does the dragon play a role come in to your Feng Shui
It's all about
science?
energy, right? So if I believe that this image over here is lucky and I put it here, and I believe that if I pour tea over this ox, that it will bring me good fortune, it will bring me good fortune. Why? Because the mind is so powerful. If you don't believe it, the dragon does nothing for you. I just personally feel that Malaysia, for example, has the dragon. It's the main range, the mountain is the dragon. So to the Chinese, the mountain is always the dragon. Like if you look at the Google Maps, you can find lots of dragons in the mountain.
One country is actually protected by the powers of the dragon that runs under.
You hit the dragon line, and if you dig, you will find a lot of the soil is red. It's the laterite soil. That's the blood of the dragon.
It is interesting to note the similarities between Chinese Feng Shui and the beliefs of the Malaysian natives, that by offending the dragons, it can cause natural disasters and tragedies, such as landslide and floods.
Dragon starts off life as the naga, the snake, and then becomes the dragon. That's the earth dragon. Okay, and you have also dragons in the sea, you know, the earth, the sea dragons, the sea nagas, you know. And whether you believe it or not, they exist. But maybe you don't have the karma to see them. And of course, they think I'm crazy. Where is the dragon? It's there, but they can't see it.
You have that affinity.
Yes.
And the dragon has thus far been a very good...
I'm the rooster. The rooster's secret friend is the dragon. Rooster is the phoenix. So it comes back to astrology. Okay, so we Chinese, there are a lot of things that are strange and mystical and you could say paranormal about our belief systems. But it's really great that you're investigating all this because it's worthwhile investigating.
Lillian Too, who is well versed in the study and symbolism of dragons, a Feng Shui expert and a believer of this amazing celestial being, seems to confirm the beliefs of the Orang Asli as explained by Dr. Colin Nicholas. that dragons are part of nature and live in the mountains and rivers, we do wonder how the essence of dragons can be so similar across culture, time, and civilization, as if we are all sharing the same fantasy. After interviewing so many people and investigation, neither you nor I has seen a glimpse of a dragon, not even a part. This is what I think. Man, human beings, have believed in dragons for centuries, influencing the evolution of civilizations and cultures. Therefore, dragons are immortalized by us, humans. Many of us who are alive now have been brought up with dragons. So who are we to question generations of belief? This is when I ask for understanding, acceptance, even when we may not understand it or even see it. Like I always say, what we see may not be real, and what is real, we may not see.